we're going to look at some maps because Pete Hegseth is a turd. So I just want to go over this with you. This is the nuts and bolts here. And because we don't look at maps, we end up fighting forever wars. But I do have to give Donald Trump credit. This isn't a forever war. We seem to have lost it in 5 weeks. Okay, so what are we looking at? That is the Middle East. That's the Persian Gulf. You see the Persian Gulf in the middle, then Gulf of Oman, the Arabian Sea. And to the left, you have the Red Sea. Well, let's look at that. That's Iran. Okay, we're fighting Iran. Okay, and right next door to Iran is Afghanistan. You see that? And right there is the Strait of Hormuz. Right there is where 25% of the world's oil, 30 to 40% of the world's fertilizer must pass through. See the Persian Gulf to the left? See all those Persian Gulf states? Kuwait, Iraq, Iran, Qatar, UAE, Bahrain. They can't get their oil out unless they go through the Persian Gulf. Saudi Arabia can go through the Red Sea, but all their oil is to the east, and it's hard to get it to the Red Sea. All right, that's the Red Sea, and Red Sea is very important because that's the Suez Canal. And Europe and Asia can't trade unless they pass through the Suez Canal. And right there is the Bab el-Mandab Strait. In order to get into the Red Sea and pass through the Suez Canal, you must go through the Bab el-Mandab Strait. That's Yemen. That's where the Houthi fighters are taking on Saudi Arabia, and they're being helped by Iran. Okay? So you got your Iran, mostly Shia nation. You got Yemen, now run by the Houthis, who are Shia. And you got Saudi Arabia, which is Sunni. Saudi Arabia hates Iran and the Houthis down in Yemen. And you see that? It's the Houthis in Yemen who can clog the Bab el-Mandab Strait. Again, Iran, Strait of Hormuz. That's it. Look at the geography here. Strait of Hormuz. Okay? Persian Gulf. Strait of Hormuz. Persian Gulf. On the left, the Red Sea. Strait of Hormuz. Persian Gulf. Strait of Hormuz.
You like to say publicly, Iran, that you control the Strait of Hormuz, but you don't have a navy.
You see, you're stupid because they don't need a navy. Here we go. Ready? Here's why they don't need a navy, turd. Strait of Hormuz. Right there, Strait of Hormuz. Above the Strait of Hormuz, see that? Those are mountains. See that? And inside those mountains somewhere are buried missile launchers and short-range missiles. And you see, you sail through the Strait of Hormuz, and they're mobile missile launchers, so they can bring them out from underneath the mountain, fire down, and all it takes is one ship to get blown up, and Lloyd's of London will not insure a tanker. That's all it takes. You don't need a navy, and you were told that, schmucko.
You like to say publicly, Iran, that you control the Strait of Hormuz, but you don't have a navy or real domain awareness.
Domain awareness. That sounds smart, but what he's saying is you're not aware of the map. The map. He's telling Iran to look at the map. Well, you go first, turd. See, that's Iran. That's Strait of Hormuz. That's the Red Sea. That's the Suez Canal. And they do have domain awareness because they can get the Houthis in Yemen in alliance with Iran, who are fighting with Saudi Arabia, to close not just the Strait of Hormuz, but the Bab el-Mandab Strait. And if the Bab el-Mandab Strait closes, you can't access the Suez Canal. You can close the Strait of Hormuz and the Bab el-Mandab Strait without a navy, douchebag. Douchebag.
You can't control anything.
You can't control anything. But you're going to try and get as many American soldiers and civilians killed. And you don't care because you got a hard-on for killing Muslims because that's the only way you can get hard. Get rid of him.